Hello again, welcome back to European Autocraft Studios 944 Turbo Project Transmission episode. First, I just want to thank a couple of people that have actually already donated to our GoFundMe campaign to help the bodywork on this car. Peter Nguyen from our GoFundMe and Anonymous. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but thank you very much. Those two have contributed enough to get us up to $30. Good start. I know it doesn't sound like much, but we really appreciate it. It just shows that there's people with faith in us to pull this off and make this work. So we do appreciate it very much. Thank you, Peter, and Anonymous. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Today, it's going to be sort of a short video. This is the input shaft. We're going to take the 3/4 collar and gears off of this. We'll get some of it apart here. We're going to go back in our underground railway all the way over to Kurt's Automotive. We'll be doing that on location with his amazing press and wall art that you have probably seen in the last video. So if I can keep my cameraman off of that, we'll focus on the transmission. When we come back, I'll disassemble one of the sliders just so you can see how it all works internally. And they don't really fail. What happens is the teeth just sort of get rounded off and they don't mesh very clearly anymore. So we'll see. We'll take a look at that. But we have a lot going on today, crazy stuff. So we're going to try to keep this video as much information but as short as possible. So I'm going to start on this, and if I babble enough, it'll take up a lot of time. So we'll be in good shape. All right. First of all, these are very small, but I think it'll get the job done. Towards the end, there we go. I'll get all the specs on this transmission, gear ratios and whatnot, and we'll just go over some of that to show the differences between the turbo and the normally aspirated transmissions. Jeffrey Gress gave me some great information that some of these parts, I know I said they're available and not too ridiculously expensive, but he found some parts at Input Shaft for around $300. I mean, that's fantastic. Okay, there's right. Okay, no, we can just put those back. Well, those go there. We want to keep them going in the same direction, so let's just make sure. Upside down. Put them back in. We'll inspect these bearings and maybe change them and replace them later. All right, the next snap ring, a different kind of snap ring, so we use a different kind of snap ring pliers. You probably saw me use something similar. When we took the other shaft apart, but these are pretty neat. They have just a little section that we can grab at the 90-degree angle there. They work really well. Nice coarse grooves on the end there, so we can grab the snap ring like so. Come on. Come on. There we go. You don't want to overextend it because then it becomes oval. We don't want to do that. So there's our snap ring. I think this one is a 0 clearance. We'll find out when we do actual measuring and reassembling. Okay, we need to get the press tool underneath the gear, or even under the dog teeth here. But I think we'll get it under the gear. I think we'll have there's a lot more support here, a lot more strength. We'll see what it takes to pull this off with the press, how much pressure. So we'll see you over at Kurt's. Okay, we're here at Kurt's. Here I have my input shaft in hand, and we are over here. The doors are closed. Kurt's not here, so I'm not obligated to say nice things about him because he's not standing right here. But I will anyways. Kurt's a cool guy. It is very hot over here. The doors are closed, so we're going to make this quick. We're just going to press underneath the gear here instead of pressing here. It's kind of, I'll show you when I get it off. It's not like it's really part of this gear, like part of a, I don't know how you call it. But it's just stronger down here instead of pressing up here. We'll see how that looks when we get it apart. I already have it set up to the correct gap here, the correct spacing. And let's press her out of there. Oh boy. Not the most elaborate press I've ever used, but it is strong, so that's good. Alright, now we'll use the bar and... Oh yeah, that's coming right out of there. Oh, no, it's not. What happened? Oh, well, there's another thing to keep an eye on. As it was pushing up, this gear was hitting my press plates, so it was stopping. That could have caused some damage if I kept going. So, we got to be mindful of that. Alrighty then. Here. All right, do everything the hard way. That's way we roll here. Okay. So I think we're grabbing something here, causing the pressure to go up. But let's go back to our shop. I think we got to wait for the train to come back to get us. We'll go back to the shop and take a closer look at this. So we'll see in a little bit. Hopefully the train's air conditioned. Okay, we're back over here in the fine air conditioned shop that we have here. I analyzed what happened here. The gear started pushing off real easy, the sliding collar. It started to slide real easy off the gear, then it stopped. What happened is that the press plates I had kind of close together, so as the shaft was pushing down, this gear, second gear, caught the plate, and it made the pressure go up, so I stopped. If anything like that happens, just stop so you can analyze what's going on. So then I got the bright idea to just pull this in a little bit, because now that the gear had moved, I could get this further under for better support. Well, what happened there, and it got caught again, was right here, the edge of the press plate here caught the bearings, and there's a stopper right here that captures the bearings. So I had this underneath the bearing, and it was pushing up on this part of the shaft, so these couldn't go anywhere. So once we got that sorted out, this gear, the sliding collar, was able to get pressed right off with third gear. So that's what happened. I should have been a little more careful, but at least you can see now, if something is moving along and then starts to bind, it's a good idea to stop and take a look. Learn these lessons every day. Every day I break something. I mean, I don't break something because he'll probably edit that out. That's good. All right. So there we are. Now, we are kind of running out of time, but I do want to just pop the sliding collar apart. Once again, you can look at these teeth. Let me see. This is really, if you look at these teeth here, they're pretty sharp. This side of the collar will engage very nicely with the synchronizer ring. This side, I didn't look too closely when I took it off because it really doesn't matter, but this side has a little more wear on it. I'm going to guess that this is the third gear side. Third gear, a little more torque. The gear's used a lot. And you can see that they're a little bit more rounded. So let's just pop this apart. I actually meant to grab that before it flew away. I'll try that again. Easy to grab with your fingernail. There we go. And these just keep tension on these little dogs, they call them, little supports. Now these are worn pretty good. I don't know if they're worn or they just look worn. Yeah, there's actually, you can't really feel a rib. There's a shiny spot where they get rubbed. They rub on the inside here, on the inside of this collar. See, there's these line up on here, on this tooth, with the cutout, and because of the shape of it, it can slide either way, up or down. Of course, that being the neutral state, and it can go either way. And the spring, it's a pretty strong spring, as you can see, it went flying right out of my zone here. And that's what just keeps the tension. So to make the clicking sound when you shift it, not necessarily in the shifter, but you hear it in the transmission. It snaps either direction. So when you assemble it, you want to make sure that you have the grooved cutout pieces, part of the tooth here, lined up with the hole or the slot. Can't even talk today. It's symmetrical either way. It'll work either way. I'm probably going to replace this. Hard to say. Looking at the teeth, we might keep it, but I get a big magnifier and I look at these and see what they look like, if they have much life left in them. We don't want to have to go back in here, and for the relatively small price to replace it and give peace of mind, we'll probably just go ahead and replace these sliders. Not sure how much of this we're going to be replacing now. We'll probably put it back together and make notes, because the owner is not financially ready to do any more. I think we've already covered quite a bit of this. Let me go get the spring that went flying. Okay. We hope to get another 944 turbo in here to do a full resto on. We're probably about a year away on that car. Okay. Now if I push it all away, it will fly apart. Let me see. Let's just take this, line the Synchro up. See, the Synchro has the 3 grooves. And that keeps the Synchro from turning, but it leaves enough play where the teeth can bite. I'll show you how that works. And yeah, that's pretty messy too. We need some work. Oh, like I was saying before, if we press on the outside, if you look, this is attached way inside there. So you're going to have a lot of leverage to actually distort this or crack it. I don't think you're going to distort, it's hardened steel. I have to see what's available, if I can replace these. I think they're just pressed onto the gear. But we don't want to do any damage to it. We'll get a closer look. I don't even know if these, I think these are 2 separate pieces. We'll do some more research. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've done these. So if we put the synchronizer ring in our 3rd gear, and if you look at how it works, if we're off center like this, if you see the teeth are not lined up, but what the Synchro ring does in the teeth, it pulls it all into place. So if these teeth are flattened out, when you go to select that gear, the flat part of the teeth will hit the flat part of this, and they won't engage. So they have to be pointed like that. So it's a seamless shift. So any sticking gears, it's usually in the Synchros. You got to keep your oil changed and make sure the clutch is all the way disengaged before you shift. If not, it puts a lot of strain on the synchronizer ring and the teeth, as you can see. So unfortunately, that's it for today. Just a quick little something you've seen already once before. Any press work, just be careful. You can see it happens to me almost every time that something goes wrong. But good to keep an eye on things. So thanks for watching. Thank you guys for the donations on GoFundMe. We're up to $30. I know it's not much, but we really appreciate it. And when the Patreon is up, we have tons of great fun stuff to watch that Nick's putting together for you. We're not quite ready with that yet, but when we are, it's a lot of fun to watch. We actually have outtakes, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe. I'm such a professional here. So a lot of fun stuff. So we'll look for that in the near future. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. You know what to do. You've been watching this for a long time. I very much appreciate it.